Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. Thanks for viewing my video. This video, I'll give my reading wrap up for the week of 11/23/2025 through 11/29/2025. I didn't complete any books this week. I read parts of 3 books. I'll talk briefly about those 3 books. I'll talk about the reading plan. I'll talk about the reading plans I have for the month of December. I'll talk about the videos I released. I'll talk about the music I've listened to and some other things too. The first book I read part of is The Dark Eidolon and Other Fantasies by Clark Ashton Smith. As I said in a previous wrap-up, I have wanted to read other similar authors to H.P. Lovecraft because I like Lovecraft so much. Clark Ashton Smith was a contemporary and friend of Lovecraft's. From what I read so far, his stories do tend a little more into the fantasy realm. They're a little more fantastical than Lovecraft's, perhaps as you could tell maybe by the title of the book, as the title indicates. But I'm quite enjoying what I've read so far. All the stories are quite short. There isn't any story so far that is a novella length story, or even a longer short story. A book I started this week is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I've had this book for quite some time. I always say I want to read it, but I haven't. I finally started reading it. Started reading this as part of a readathon. I decided to take part in kind of last minute. Cozyathon. It was a readathon that was organized by Steph at Fauna Steph on here, as on her Patreon and Discord. One of the prompts was for owned TBR, and as I've had this for a while, it was one I decided to read. In the world of this book, there are vampires, wares, and humans. The relationships between the 3 groups are kind of tense and volatile. Story is told in the first person by Misery. She is a vampire. Her father is the most powerful vampire. When she was 8, she was given as collateral to the humans. A human went to the vampire region, and the idea being if there was any hostilities, say from the vampires to the humans, then the humans would kill Misery, and if it was the other way around, the vampires would kill the human collateral. When Misery's collateral term ended, she decided to stay in the human realm, kind of in disguise, but her co-worker seemed to know she's a vampire. Then her father proposes she become collateral with the wares, who would send a rare to the vamp realm, and Misery agrees to that. I won't say any more, but I will say that I think I was in a bit of a reading slump recently, and this book got me out of it. I had been having trouble when I got Fairmont in the evening, concentrating on what I was reading. My mind was drifting. I found myself reading stuff over and over, and part of it could be it's just getting later at night, but there was a couple nights reading this book where I didn't want to put it down. I went past my normal bedtime, so I'm very much enjoying this book. I would say I'm about, as I tape this video, which is Tuesday, December 2nd, I'm about 75% through, and this is certainly going to be one of the best books that I've read this year, and it's great with a much hyped book. It's great when a much hyped book lives up to expectations. The third book I read part of this week, I actually started this week and read part of it, is Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna Van Veen. This is the November read for the Literary Love Club, a YouTube book club moderated by Jen at Literary Love 123. There's also an associated Discord to it. From what I've read so far, I'm quite enjoying it. As far as the books that I want to read this month, I want to get back to reading and finish The Hacienda by Elizabeth Canas. I've said that in the last 2 or 3 videos, I think. I didn't stop it because I didn't like it. There was other books I was reading, or actually I was kind of in a slump, as I'm now recognizing upon looking back at it. The Hacienda was a September/October read for the Cozy Club, a Fable Book Club bladder by Stephanie Bookish at Fallen to Steph on here. I want to get back reading The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. This was the November read for Booked and Busy, a Fable Book Club bladder by Jamie at Jamie Falk on here. I big time missed the deadline, but I do want to get back reading. It is quite a long book. I think it's between 600 and 700 pages. It's quite a long book. Another book I've said in several videos I want to start reading is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This was a November read for On With the Band, a Fable Book Club matter by MJ. Read This Life at MJSJ on here. But I still do want to read it, even though I totally missed the deadline for that book club. One book I want to start and read the whole book is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This is the December read for the Witchword Apothecary Book Club, which is the book club of Steph at Fallen to Steph on here. This is also the December read for Booked and Busy, the Fable Book Club moderated by Jamie at Jamie Falk on here. So it kind of is a double header of a book. And I really liked Her First Time Caller. So this is a book I haven't been doing very good, as I said earlier in this video. You can see I've been missing book club deadlines, but this one I really like to read this month. As far as the upcoming week, my main focus is going to be on Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna Van Veen, because I think the live stream discussion for this book is Saturday. I'm not absolutely positive, but I think it is this weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I think Saturday. So I want to be able to look at that live stream discussion as it occurs, as opposed to watching a replay of it. Next, I want to talk about the videos I released this week. The first was my review of The Witches by Roald Dahl, illustrated by Quentin Blake. The second was my review of Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. And the third was reading wrap-up for the week ending 11/22/2025. Kind of getting back where I want to be, 3-4 videos a week after a couple weeks where all the work was done on our house. Next, I want to talk about a wooble I worked on. It is the BT21 Mang Donut Wooble, which when completed should look something like this. This is a hobby that I worked on as part of the Cozy-a-thon Readathon, which I mentioned earlier. And basically I am done with the body now. As far as video games, I continue to play Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Stole Time. I've played over 80 hours of it. It's quite enjoyable overall. Occasional frustrations, but I wouldn't have played it so long if I didn't quite enjoy it. As far as music I listened to, it was mainly Cat's Eye and some Christmas songs. I went to the local mall on Black Friday, and while there I thought it would be appropriate to listen to Christmas songs, so I listened to some on Tidal. Besides the other things I did, on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, our Thanksgiving in the U.S. was Thursday, but my sister and myself on Wednesday, we ordered through Uber Eats. We each got turkey dinners at a local restaurant. We ate together, so that was nice. As I said, I went to the local mall on Black Friday. I walked and Then got something to eat. I also went to the mall on the previous Monday and walked there, got something to eat. Went out a couple other times to eat. Next I want to give a medical update. And as I know, not everyone likes medical updates. I will put some text in the bottom left of the screen saying medical update. I'll put that text when the medical update starts and remove it when it ends. But besides my outro, there's not going to be anything else in this video. So if you don't want to see the medical update, you've seen everything else. On Tuesday of this past week, I had an appointment at my dermatologist. It was to get a full body scan. It was done by an APRN. Very nice woman, as was her aide. Very nice. There was a small red circle on my upper right arm that she recommended I have removed. They remove it by applying liquid nitrogen, which destroys the cells. And she found a area on my lower right leg which she thought looked suspicious, so she recommended that I get a biopsy done, and I agreed. So she did the biopsy. They sent it off. I was really happy with the appointment. It was kind of inevitable that I would at some point need to see a dermatologist. I am going to give the results of that biopsy, even though I actually got the results on Monday, December 1, which is after the period of this video, but since I'm talking about it, I figure I might as well say what those were. The results did show that the area was a basal cell carcinoma, which is the first level of skin cancer. There was several options. One of them was to go back to their office, and a doctor would scrape off the area to hopefully remove all the cancerous cells. Another was to go to a different medical facility outside of the one that I normally go to, and I believe it was to have a dermatological surgeon, I guess you call them, look at it and decide what to do. One of the options might have been to just surgically remove the area and then check the edges to make sure that they got all the cancer, and if necessary, remove more of it. The option of having the work done having the dermatologist in the office I go to remove it, there's a 91% success rate. It's a little higher if you have done by the surgeon, because they do check the edges of the area, so it's a little higher. But it's also takes longer, it's longer recovery. I decided to go with have the dermatologist in the office I've been going to do it. 91% is still a good success rate, and I'm sure there'll be follow-up, and I'm sure I'll be advised to keep looking at the area, make sure there's no recurrence. So, little disappointing that there was a result showing that there was the basal cell carcinoma, but hopefully the appointment, which I made for December 31, not the greatest of days because it's New Year's Eve, but hopefully it'll remove all the area. It is a bit discouraging, I guess, although not surprising, because this is something I have to be looking for the rest of my life. Kind of pay attention to see if I see anything suspicious, and but my mother had this issue, and I'm light-skinned, so it was inevitable. I would be interested in knowing how your reading week went, any books you particularly enjoyed. I would also be interested in knowing if in the music you've been listening to, if you'd like to let me know about one or both those things, please add a comment. If you can't think of anything else to comment, please add a flower emoji. I'm picking a flower emoji because there will be flowers at a marriage, and forgot to mention that as part of the, in bride, as part of the collateral switching, Misery is required to marry the alpha of the wear pack. So that's why I have a flower. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, please hit the bell to get notified when I upload future videos. I hope you have a wonderful reading week. I hope you have a wonderful week in general. If you enjoy this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe, please hit the bell to get notified when I upload future videos.